Alright, I've been gone for a minute, but I'm back.
Are you ready? What's happened?
So today we're going to continue making the rear fenders, so we're just going to get straight into that. I'm Immune and this is Whiskey and Coke. So we begin where we last left off, and we're going to get on to trimming the rear fender panels as well as the fender links once we take them apart. So when I did my very first Widebody kit for version 2, I did a really horrible job cutting the rear fenders, and I didn't even seal them. So we're going to take the time to recut them and seal them, but instead of using traditional methods of foam and sealant or whatever, we're going to use carbon fiber. And once that's sealed, we're going to reassemble the rear fenders, and just as placeholders, we're going to use screws to fasten them in place. And then we get onto the fun part where we sand and fill the fender panels and the fender links. Alright, so quick story time. So while I was doing the rear fenders, it actually reminded me of the very first time I actually did over fenders, or made my very first wide body kit. So even back then, I used to daily drive my project car, and basically I would be driving around the project in the condition that it was in the middle of the build. And at that time is when I was actually relipping my wheels for the very first time. So I started off with the rear wheels, which actually led me to actually making the rear fenders first, and then that just kind of continued on for version 3 and version 4 and even till now. And that was probably the very first time I've received so much hate in my life, and that was probably because people didn't understand the process, or that the build was in process and that I was detailing my project car. And social media, or the internet being the way the internet is and was, I saw on a group page or a forum where this clown said, let's invite him out to a meet and jump him being me. And honestly, that was like a what the f moment. Luckily, there were a lot of those people who were against that and, thought that to be very senseless, and also supported what I did. So till this day, I'm very grateful for that, and I thank you guys so much. And then as I continued that build, I came to stop caring what people thought, and I did my best not to let it bother me, because I realized that the only thing that mattered was not what people cared or what they thought about it, it's what I thought about it. The fact that I loved what I was doing, I enjoyed it, and I liked it. And then I came to realize that's really all that mattered. And there's always just going to be people who hate, and that's just how the world is, and that's how it's always going to be. It's inevitable, and you can't please everybody, so let it be that the most important thing is that as long as you can please yourself, that's all that matters. Okay, I think I might have gotten carried away a little too much with the story. Almost forgot about the build. So one thing different we're doing for this build is that the fenders are going to have cutoffs for the bumpers and side skirts. And by cutoffs I mean so that when we disconnect the bumpers or the side skirts, part of the fender will come off with it. So we're going to start with the rear so that we can work on the most crucial part for the rear fenders, which is going to be the access for the fuel door. Anyway, so as I was saying, if you have an idea or if you want to make something, create something, do something, as long as you're not doing anything bad, just make it happen. Don't let the thought of what people have to tell you or what people have to say get in the way of you even trying. It never hurts to try. Now when it comes down to it, and with people and their input on your work, first off, if they can't give you constructive criticism, especially on why they hate it, or a legitimate reason on why they hate it, their input is invalid. Also, what's invalid is the fact that they hate your work because they can't do it themselves. It's always a good thing to respect people's opinions, their ideas, and their ideals, but if all they're going to do is hate you, hate your work, just because they hate it, then just don't care. Why should you have to care? So at the end of the day, regardless of if people like it or not, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. So just do you. Alright, so we're almost done with the rear fenders, so be sure to subscribe for more to come, which will be very soon. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to hit me up on IG or to check out my past builds for updates or whatnot. Check me out on IG at imi.yoon. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys real soon.